ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna, a very warm welcome to everyone for joining us for the Srimad Bhagavatam life lessons. So we are now entering into the episode 3 of our series. So we have discussed already 2 episodes. And if you remember, our discussion is running parallel to the Bhagavad Gita. We are trying to understand the Gita through the lens of the stories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Gita begins with the stubborn attachment and hankering of Dhritarashtra for power and prestige. And we saw parallel to that, there's a story in the Bhagavatam, the stubborn attachment to ego and prestige of Daksha, Prajapati. Dhritarashtra's arrogance, his attachment led to the destruction of his own sons. And here, Daksha's attachment and his prestige led to the destruction of his own daughter and later his own death, isn't it? So that we discuss the price of pride. What price do you need to pay for your pride? And then after that, Bhagavad Gita talks about the observing the armies. सेनयोर उभयोर मध्ये रथम स्थापये me achyuta. Arjuna asks Krishna to position the chariot between the two armies, and before that, Duryodhan, he is observing the armies and he is telling Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya that how his army is more equipped to win this battle. So while he is enumerating the strengths of his own army and those of the Pandavas, he misses out the name of Krishna. He lists out names of all the Pandavas and all the other warriors who are on the side of the Pandavas, but he fails to list or count upon Krishna, that Krishna is on Pandava's side. He said, what will he do? He is just going to be a mute observer. So that was a great miscalculation on Duryodhan's part. Now we discussed the pastime in the Bhagavatam of Samudra Manthan Leela. And towards the end of the Samudra Manthan Leela, Shukdev Goswami says that Desha Kala and the effort, everything amongst the demons and the devatas was completely same. They applied the same strength, same vigor, at the same place, for the same duration of time, with the same intention. But the demigods got it all, and the demons were bereft. Why? Because the devatas had Krishna on their side, Vishnu on their side. And that is something which the demons always miss out on. So, isn't it parallel? A parallel to Bhagavad Gita, where Duryodhan counts upon everything, lists everyone except Krishna. And here also the demons, they just depended on their own strength to snatch the nectar. Whereas the Devatas, they always at every step depended on Krishna. And it paid good dividends, the best dividends. Now you might be wondering, which pastime will we be discussing? So the suspense is there, right? What is coming up? Of course, I have shared. But why we will be discussing the Narad Vyasa Samvad? That mystery we will unlock. So in the Bhagavad Gita, after Arjuna asks Krishna to position his chariot between the two armies to see who all have gathered for that battle, there is something which he is taken aback by. He finds that he is strategically prepared for the war, but he's emotionally not prepared for the war. So strategically, he has, all the phalanxes are arranged, and he has all the quiver and all the armor, and he has probably rehearsed everything, every trick of the trade. So strategically, he is all there, but in terms of emotions, he is not yet sorted. Situations in life are unpredictable, but more unpredictable is our response to those situations. Many times we end up acting in weird ways in situations, and which puzzle us later on, that how did I act in this way? So Arjuna was not emotionally prepared for this, and then he recoiled from the thought of fighting, and he started listing down various reasons why he cannot fight and he should not fight. And mukham cha parishyate, twak chaiva paridhyate. So he says, my skin is burning, my mouth is drying up, and I don't find any solution to this problem. So I can't carry on with this responsibility. So he leaves his Gandiva. So quite similar, if we correspond that to today's day and age, quite similar to that situation is situation of many people today who have promising careers, who have achieved it all, great careers, great academic success, but then after some time they realize that they can't find the motivation to do what they are doing. They find a sense of vacuum, a sense of lack of purpose behind why they are doing what they are doing. The activity, their career is paying them very luxuriantly, but that doesn't create that kind of impetus for them to continue. And then there's something called midlife crisis, isn't it? So that is a phenomena which is very, very common. And these days they also talk of quarter life crisis. Midlife crisis, like at the age of 40, you have been in the rat race, and you have, with all of your hard work and skills and talents, you have been able to really make a mark. But then after doing it over and over and over again, you get tired, you get bored, and you don't find a sense of connection. You get lost. So nowadays, people at the age of 25, they are saying, I have done it all, I've seen it all. I'm not finding any purpose and meaning in my life. So, like Arjuna gave up his Gandiva. People, give up their drive to do things, isn't it? So, we are seeing from Bhagavatam which pastime would it be where someone who has accomplished so much, who has been acclaimed as the greatest author of all times. He finds himself, kind of despondent and dissatisfied, and he's directionless. He's not understanding why is it that even after accomplishing so much, I find a sense of vacuum in my heart. Isn't it? Isn't it a condition similar to midlife crisis? Yeah. Yes. So yes, dear friends, we are discussing, just as Arjuna, he went through a situation of midlife crisis where everything externally was on, available for him, but internally he felt a sense of vacuum, a sense of drive to do what he was supposed to do. So Vyasadev, after compiling all the Vedic literatures, all the Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, 18 Puranas, 108 and plus Upanishads, and Itihasas, even Mahabharata, even after doing all of that, he finds a sense of lack of meaning, as a lack of satisfaction. And at that time, his guru intervenes in his life and gives him direction. Just as Krishna intervened in the life of Arjuna and addressed his midlife crisis. So similarly, Narad Muni, as the guru of Vyasadeva, he intervenes in Vyasadev's life and addresses the root cause of his midlife crisis. So just as Krishna, he addressed Arjuna's dilemma by saying that you are not doing it for the Kuru clan. It's not between Kuru and Pandav clan. You are supposed to act as an instrument of dharma, as my instrument. So Krishna asks Arjuna to fight as an act of devotional service, to please Krishna. So similarly for Vyasadeva, Narad Muni said that you have been thinking and writing a lot for your audience. What will our audience want? What will they want? They relish. But then, have you satisfied Krishna? Because Nayat Vachas Chitrapadam Harer Yasho Jagat Pavitram Pragranita Karhichit Tadvayasam Tirtham Ushanti Manasa Nayatra Hamsa Niramanti Sikshaya. That those literatures which don't glorify the Lord sufficiently, or glorified efficiently or inefficiently. So such literatures, they don't attract the hamsas, they don't attract the devotees, they attract the crows. So he said that you have to, just as Arjuna was asked to fight for Krishna's satisfaction, not that I am fighting as against the Kauravas, I am fighting as a Pandava. No, it was not between brothers. It was a fight for, as a act of bhakti, for Krishna's satisfaction, for upholding dharma. So similarly, Vyasadev is here instructed to write. Arjuna was asked to fight. Vyasadev is asked to write. And as they say, pen is mightier than the sword. So as Arjuna was asked to wield his sword for Krishna's satisfaction, Vyasadeva was asked to wield his pen for Krishna's satisfaction. So aren't there many parallels between these two pastimes? So as they say, Bhagavad Gita is the law book and Bhagavatam is the law journal, which has more examples. Now, let's come to this section. We will go to the first canto, chapter number 4. So this section is between chapter 4 to chapter 6 of canto 1. So all our dear friends online, are you able to follow? Is it all making sense? Please give a thumbs up if yes. Thank you. I want more thumbs up if they are available. Okay. So, any doubts or confusions you may have, you may just voice them or post it in comments. So now we will just zoom into this chapter number 4 of Canto 1, and there's a lot to uncover, a lot to explore in these 3 chapters, and let's see how much we can cover today. व्यास उवाच इति ब्रुवाणां संस्तूय मुनीनां दीर्घसत्रिणां वृद्धकुलपति सुतां भ्रवृच शौनको ब्रवीत्. How does this begin? This chapter begins that it continues from the previous chapter where Sutta Goswami concludes his answer to the various questions, 6 questions asked by Shaunakadi Rishi. Shaunakadi Rishi, they had asked 6 questions to Sutta Goswami, that what is the highest benefit, welfare activity for mankind? What is it that a person should do? What is the prime duty of a human being? And then tell me about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Tell us about the pastimes of the Leela avatars. Tell us about the pastimes of the Purusha avatars. After Shri Krishna departed from this world, where did Dharma take shelter? So all of these questions, 6 questions of Shaunakadi Rishi, were beautifully answered by Sutta Goswami. And now, after hearing these answers, they further ask more questions. Not that syllabus ho gaya chalo. They ask more questions. And who asks questions? Shaunak Rishi. So Shaunak Rishi has been appointed by those some 80,000 sages. So in Naimisharanya, if you go, it's a forest. And even now today, if you go, it's a forest with extreme climate, a lot of heat, a lot of rain. So these sages were sitting there, 80,000 of them, and they had appointed Shaunak Rishi with mic. Probably what kind of sound system, I don't know. But he was asking on their behalf. So he has been described as Vriddha Kulapati Sutam Bhavracha. So he had 3 qualifications. First is he was Brahavracha. He was very learned. He was a learned person. It is said that a fool is not recognized till they open their mouth. Right? So therefore he was given this opportunity because he was a learned person. He had to ask questions, relevant questions, which were relevant for all those 80,000 people. And then Kulapati, he was a leader. He was a natural leader for everyone. So unanimously elected leader. And then third is Vriddha. He was also elderly. He had experience. So knowledge, experience, and I would say charisma. These 3 things he had. Yeah. Knowledge is a matter of intelligence. Realization is a matter of one's spiritual advancement, and charisma is one's social connectivity. And how you are spiritually advanced, but can you connect to people? Can you lead them? Right. So he had all of these qualifications. So therefore, he was assigned this seva, and he says in the next verse, Suta Suta Mahabhaga Vadano Vadatam Vara Katham Bhagavatam Punyam Yad Aha Bhagavan Shuka. So he starts with a barrage of questions. Now he's going to ask in the next 13, 12 verses, he is going to ask question after question after question, because he has got a hint, a clue about Bhagavatam. After Shri Krishna departed, where have all the religious principles taken shelter? Shuddha Goswami had described in the previous chapter. Krishna Swadhama Upagate Dharma Jnana Dhibhi Saha Kalo Nashta Dasham Isha Puran Arko Adunodita. After Shri Krishna has disappeared from this world, the son of Krishna has set in the horizon. The principles of religion have taken shelter in the new rising sun of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna's literary incarnation. In this, who has anyone who takes shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam is indirectly in touch with Krishna, right? So after getting this clue, oh, Krishna is here in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. He wants to know everything about Srimad Bhagavatam. He asks in this, please relate the pious message of Bhagavatam, which, as you said, was spoken by Shukdev Goswami. And he says, in what period, what time did it begin? And why was this writing of Bhagavatam taken up? And where did Vyasdev get the inspiration to compile and write this Srimad Bhagavatam? So you see the eagerness of a person. Sometimes there are devotees, who want to ask questions after a class, and they raise their hand. And if they are not seen, they will keep on raising. And then when they get the mic, Maharaj, I have 3 questions. So one by one. So even if they are asked one by one, they will include 2 questions in one. So he has so many questions, that in what period, what place was this work begun, and why did Vyasdev get the inspiration? What inspiration he got to write it? And this was spoken by Sukdev Goswami. I want to know about Shukdev Goswami also. Tasya putro mahayogi samadrik nirvikalpake ekantamatiir unnidro gudho mudho iveyate. He's saying the wonderful qualities of Shukdev Goswami. He is Tasya putro, means Vyasdev's son. He spoke the Bhagavatam. Mahayogi. He's a great yogi, mystic yogi. He has all the mystic powers. He's in samadhi. He has such samadhi, such abilities in yoga. Samadrik. He has equal vision. He doesn't discriminate between man or animal, man or woman. He doesn't discriminate. Nirvikalpakai ekantamatir. His intelligence is focused in spiritual realization. Unnidro. He is completely he has transcended ignorance. Gudho mudho. He is very deep, but he appears very means like a madman, unintelligent person. So wow, I'm going to hear that Bhagavatam which was spoken by such a self-realized personality as Shukdev Goswami, who is Mahayogi, Samadrik, equal vision, Nirvikalpakai, whose mind doesn't waver, Ekantamatir, fully focused, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. What narration would that have been? So he is just getting fascinated that now I'm going to hear this narration of Bhagavatam. And he starts talking about Shukdev Goswami more. He says that, I know, I have heard about this when he was born, Shukdev. Actually, he didn't come out of his mother's womb for 12 years because he as a self-realized yogi, he didn't want to come to this material world because he knew as soon as I come out, I'll get entangled and attached to the Maya. I don't want to come out. He was staying in the womb. And then Vyasdev had to go and request Krishna, you please come and convince this boy to come out. My wife is being troubled. So personally, Lord Krishna came and went and spoke to that not little, maybe bigger, Shukdev Goswami in the womb of the mother. That don't worry, I bless you that you will not get entangled by Maya. Now come out. No, he was, Krishna asked actually first, why are you not coming out? No, I'll get entangled by Maya. Krishna said, don't worry, I bless you. You will not get entangled. Then he decided to come out. And as soon as he came out of the womb after such a long period, the parents naturally wanted to fondle him and see what kind of yogi this child is. But as soon as he came out, he stood up started walking and left. No, no Maya. I don't, care for any affection and all. He just walked away, and Vyasdev started following him, running behind him. Oh son! Before he realized that he has come out, he saw he's already walking. Yeah, Vyasdev started running after him, and as he was running, Shukdev Goswami was wandering, and he was passing by a pond where young ladies were taking baths, and he just nonchalantly walked through this pond, and was walked across this place without getting faced. Unfazed, he walked through, and the ladies also didn't mind, because now when Vyasdev came behind his father, who is world famous as the greatest, as the literary incarnation, mm, as Shaktavesh avatar, the great compiler of the Vedas, when he was passing through, these girls felt ashamed, shy, and they covered their bodies with clothes. So then Vyasdev was puzzled. Are, when my young son, who just young son actually, he was a young boy, he passed through and he was naked, because actually he came out of the womb, he didn't have any time to, to think about what am I wearing or not. He just walked through, and these girls didn't mind at all. And now I am going, and they are feeling shy. What is it? He went and asked these girls. So they said that actually we could understand that this boy doesn't have discrimination between man and woman, because actually there is it seems women have a third sense or a sixth sense, to understand the intentions of the person. Krishna has gifted, but that requires purity. When there's purity, then that sixth sense is. If one's mind is contaminated oneself, then one won't understand, right? And maybe cheated. But these girls, they had that purity and sixth sense. So, but then Vyasdev said, but I am also a pure sage. So, no, but as a grahastha, you have some social convention. But this guy, he doesn't have any social convention. He's completely on spiritual platform. So, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that a self-realized sage is on the stage of Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastane Shuni Chaiva Sopakecha Pandita Samadarshina. He sees a Brahmana, a dog eater, a dog, a cow, everyone on the spiritual level. So Shukdev Goswami did not see male or female. He saw all living entities as spirit souls wearing different dresses. So Prabhupada writes, one should therefore attempt to know the distinction between body and soul without any distinction between male and female. As long as such distinction is there, one should not try to become a sannyasi like Shukdev Goswami. At least theoretically, one must be convinced that a living entity is neither a male nor a female. The outward dress is made of matter by material nature to attract the opposite gender and thus keep one entangled in material existence. This is what the prescription of the Srimad Bhagavatam. That outward dress of male or female has nothing to do with our pure spiritual identity. So whether I wear a goggle, Ray-Ban goggle, or some other local street shop goggle, that has nothing to do with my eyes, isn't it? It's just an external thing. Whether I wear a Rolex watch, or a Titan watch, or a Casio watch, right? That watch has nothing to do with my wrist. It is just an add-on. Similarly, this body itself is just an add-on. It's an attachment. It doesn't have anything to do with the soul. When the body itself is not our identity, not to speak of being a male or a female. So this was the spiritual level of of Shukadev Goswami. So we were discussing the eagerness which Sut Goswami had, which Shaunak Rishi had, to know more. Oh, I want to know about that Srimad Bhagavatam. How did this come out? Which place? Why? What was the inspiration? And that Shukdev Goswami, he was that kind of a person. And then he has more questions. Katham alakshite pore. When he was passing through the area of Hastinapur to Delhi, how was he treated by the people? I want to know about that. And then he asks, and how did it so happen that King Parikshit met this great sage, making it possible for this great transcendental literature to come out? Because you have to get the best of speaker meet the best of listener. So how did this such a meeting take place? Which is uh, very rare to have this kind of a combination. And he says, and I have heard about Shukdev Goswami, that he doesn't wait at people's homes even for a few minutes. Sa godohan matram hi graheshu grahamedina avekshate mahabhaga tirthi kurvam stad ashramam. Shukdev Goswami would wait at a person's house only for the duration of time it took to milk the cow. गाय दूध देने के लिए जितना समय लगता है उतने ही समय वो रुकते थे. क्यों? Because he would accept alms. He would go to a house, accept alms. And what alms? They would bring some roti. No, I take only milk drinking brahmachari. So in previous times, the grahasthas, every house would have cows, and they would not have artificial storages, refrigerators for milk. They had natural storages because the cows' udders are full with milk. दूध चाहिए, ओके, पैस्चराइज करने की जरूरत नहीं है. गाय है ना, गाय से बस आप 10 मिनट रुको, मैं दूध निकाल के लाके देता हूँ. तो ताजा दूध निकाल के वो जितना टाइम लगता है 10-15 मिनट्स, that much time Shukdev Goswami would stay. And that was just his bahana to speak Krishna Katha. Those 15 minutes he would speak Krishna Katha, drink milk and move on, and go to the next village or forest or keep walking. So he's saying that if this person doesn't wait for more than 15 minutes anywhere, how is it that he waited for 7 days in one place? This is a celestial, occurrence. That Shukdev Goswami meets Parikshit Maharaj and waits for 7 days. What kind of situation warranted him to, make this deviation in his regular vows of renunciation? So he's very eager to know. He's very eager to know about Bhagavatam, about Shukdev Goswami, about the meeting of Shukdev and Parikshit. Now he wants to know about Parikshit. Oh, that Parikshit Maharaj, Abhimanyu Sutam Suta Prahur Bhagavatottama Tasya Janma Maha Ascharyam Karmani Cha Grinihi Na. Oh, what to speak of that Parikshit Maharaj? Tasya Janma Maha Ascharya. That his birth in itself is a matter of great amazement. Just as Shukdev Goswami, his birth was not also ordinary. He actually, had Krishna come and get his delivery done. Right? So similarly for Parikshit also, Krishna came for his delivery, or probably for his deliverance. Because Ashwathama had thrown Brahmastra to kill the last heir of the Pandava lineage, which was the child in the womb of Uttara, which is little Parikshit, who was in the womb. And he was so envious that he wanted to kill the last trace of Pandava bloodline. So he wanted to kill. But Krishna, knowing and wanting that this lineage should continue, he came and he entered the womb of Uttara, and the scorching Brahmastra had burned the entire skin of Parikshit. Krishna diffused the Brahmastra, restored the health of Parikshit, and brought him out. Right? So he is no ordinary person. Just as Krishna got the delivery of Shukdev done, he also got the delivery of Parikshit done. Matlab, can you imagine the kind of these people they are who are meeting for the appearance of Srimad Bhagavatam? So he's saying, Janma Maha Ascharyam Karmani Cha Grinihi Naha. Not only his birth, his activities are also full of wonder. Please tell us about him also in detail. And we have more inquiries that he was such a great emperor. Now we heard that he gave up his kingdom to come and sit to hear Bhagavatam. Just as for Shukdev Goswami, it is an amazement that how could he wait for 7 days? He waits only 15 minutes. Similarly, for Parikshit Maharaj, he is busy in his administering the kingdom. How did he get time for 7 days? And it is we heard that he gave up everything to sit on the banks of Ganga and fast till death. What made him do this? And someone may give up his kingdom and position and everything because they get frustrated. Things are not working out is a good excuse to give up and renounce. But for this person, namanti yat pad niketam atmanah shivaya haniya dhanani shatrava katham savira shriyamanga dustyajam yuvaishata utsrishtu maho saha asubhi. So about him it is described, the great warriors, the name of whom would cause other warriors to tremble out of fear, shiver in fear. These great warriors would come and bow their helmets at the feet of Parikshit. So this is the kind of person we are talking about. He did not renounce in a state of bankruptcy. Generally, people when they commit frauds and become bankrupt, then they come to temple. Right? But no, he was in the prime of his youth. He was the prime of his strength and dominion, and still he renounced. Further, he asks that Shivaya lokasya bhavaya bhute yah uttama shloka parayana jana jivanti na atmartham aso parashrayam mumocha nirvidya kutah kalevaram. That okay, people who have strength and power and sovereignty, they utilize it for themselves, for their own ego and prestige. But it was not the case with Parikshit. Parikshit was utilizing all of his strength and power for the welfare of people. So why did he need to give up? He was already engaged in spiritual welfare activities. What was the need for him to give up? So we want to know about these things. These are great mysteries. The Srimad Bhagavatam itself is a mystery, and we are very fascinated to know about it. But how did this Srimad Bhagavatam come up is also a mystery. How did Shukdev, the personality of Shukdev is a mystery, the personality of Parikshit is a mystery, their meeting is a mystery. So we want to know everything in detail about all of these mysteries. The Bhagavad mystery, the Shukdev mystery, the Parikshit mystery, the meeting mystery. They want to know everything about. Tat sarvam nah samachakshva prishto yad iha kinchana manye tvam vishay vacham snatam annatra chandasa. You please clearly explain the answers to all these questions which we have put across to you. because you are expert in the meaning of all the subjects except some portions of the Vedas. So they want to know everything about Shukdev, Parikshit, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, when I was reading this section, I was feeling that actually, if you this kind of an eagerness, I could draw parallels. This kind of an eagerness, I felt I have probably seen it somewhere else. Where? Oh yes, this eagerness to know about the meeting of two people, how the two people meet, and how their love blossoms. Hmm. Everyone is eager to know about how does this actor and this actress come together. How did this cricketer and this actress come together? Hmm. And all the movies are made about it. एक था राजा एक थी रानी, एक हसीना थी एक दीवाना था, right? They will zoom in about, oh, the boy was like this and everything about that boy. He was a you know a very happy-go-lucky person, or he was a sadak chap person. Every trait about that boy is revealed. And about the girl, she is bubbly, she is always laughing, and the center takes the center stage of the college. Everything about the girl, and then how they met, right? So this curiosity to know about the story of two lovers, how they met, with all the intricate details, it's there, isn't it? The movies are talking about these narrations. Then the page 3 is talking about these things. Media, they'll keep on portraying this kind of how they met, what happened, this happened, that happened. But ask yourself, what is the shelf life and significance of these kind of meetings? First of all, what is the shelf life? How long do these relationships last?
As long as probably they live 5 years.
No, first of all, they don't last even for a decade or a couple of years in many cases. And then, even if they last lifelong, what is the significance? At death, everything is gone, right? Neither can the lover save the beloved, nor the beloved can save the lover. So, it is, talking about the same. So this is what the world is eager to know. This kind of curiosity is not new for us, but the Srimad Bhagavatam turns that curiosity towards a meeting of great devotees. The meeting of two great devotees, and how their expression of love for Krishna manifests in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? That is something we should be curious about, like Shaunak Adi Rishi. Evolved beings have curiosity about meeting of two great souls, the guru and the disciple. So we inquire in detail about the meeting of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada. What happened? What kind of a guru was Saraswati Thakur? What kind of a personality Prabhupada was? He was a Gandhian. He was a freedom fighter. And he was so spiritual since his childhood. We discuss in detail. Abhay Babu, as a small child, he would go and offer, he would do Rath Yatras. He would go and see the timetable of chart of trains going to Jagannath Puri. As a child, this was Abhay Charan. And Saraswati Thakur, in his childhood, once he ate mango without taking permission. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he asked, did you offer it to Krishna? No. No, you didn't offer it to Krishna. Little 5-year-old Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. He took a vow that I will never ever eat mango in my life because I am an offender of mango. Because mango, every fruit, everything is supposed to be offered to Krishna, and I ate without offering it. So in the rest of his life, he never ate mangoes. So these are the kind of people. What would that celestial meeting be when they meet? What prophecy would be created? Preach this message of Lord Chaitanya in the English language all over the world, right? So we should absorb and indulge our consciousness in our mind in knowing with curiosity about all of these meetings, because when we inquire with eagerness about these meetings, then we won't meet Mr. Yama and his people, right? So isn't it interesting? That eagerness is to know about, मतलब जिसको बोलते हैं हिंदी में पंचायती, वो कैसा था, वो कैसी थी, ये कैसे मिला, ऐसा, that curiosity is always there. You can't deny. You can turn that curiosity to know about the meeting of great spiritual personalities, about their lives, and that is the recommendation which Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us, demonstrating to us. Now, another interesting thing happens here is he says that Snatam Anyatra Chandasa. They say that we are asking you because you are qualified, you know a majority portion of the scriptures except a few. Anyatra, some Chandasa, some hymns of the Vedas you don't know, but that's fine with us. So the expectation from a guru is not of information. A guru is not a information storehouse. A guru is someone who has realization, right? Saraswati Thakur, he was one of the greatest scholars of his time. He had written Surya Siddhanta commentary. He was the greatest scholar on astrology and astronomy at that time. Had written commentaries on so many books. But he took Diksha from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, who was a illiterate person. Because a guru is not someone who is a database. A guru is someone who has genuine love for Krishna, who has spiritual realization. So Prabhupada writes in this purport that realization is more important than parrot-like chanting. Someone may have great memory to memorize and repeat, but it is realization and purity which counts when it comes to accepting a guru. Yeah. So this is what I think we can cover today. Okay, let us discuss one more, a couple of more verses, and then we will take up some questions if there are any. Or you want me to break now for questions? So this inquiry was made by Shaunaka Rishi, and then Suta Goswami. He starts the narration by talking about Vyasadeva. Because how did this Srimad Bhagavatam appear? It is through Vyasa. So he has to talk about Vyasadeva. So he says, when the second millennium overlapped the third, the great sage Vyasa was born to Parashar in the womb of Satyavati, the daughter of Vasu. So basically, Dwapar means Dwa, 2, Treta means Tra, 3. But what we see is Satya Yuga, then we say Treta Yuga, then the previous Yuga was Dwapar and Kali. So technically, actually, Dwapar must be 2 and Treta must be 3. So in all the yuga cycles, it is like that except one. The yuga cycle in which Krishna appears, in which Treta comes first and Dwapar comes second,
Yeah.
and third.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Satya, Treta, Dwapar. So and this when this overlapping took place, Vyasdev was born to Parashar Rishi, who is the author of Vishnu Puran. The father himself is super accomplished.
Yeah.
So the father, Parashar Rishi, in the womb of Satyavati, he begot Vyasdev. Now, 15th verse says that once upon a time, Vyasdev, he was sitting on the banks of Saraswati in Badrika Ashram in the Himalayas, in the place called Samyaprash. Very, very pristine, pure, and mystical place with birds chirping, varieties of birds, multicolored birds, hmm, and fascinating waterfalls. hmm. The skyline is filled with, very pleasing clouds, cool breezes, carrying the scented fragrance of the lotuses, which are floating on Saraswati River. These are touching and refreshing the body. Mm. And this kind of ambience is there. Varieties of trees with wonderful fruits are there. And in this place, where it is very, very calm, quiet, and naturally um, tuned for meditation. Hmm? Just at morning time, it becomes easy to meditate, or in the temple hall, it becomes easy to meditate. Imagine if you're sitting out there in Saraswati, on the banks of Saraswati, in Badrikashram, where we can't go, humans can't go. Hmm? What kind of a pristine and environment would it be? So he's meditating, and Paravaragya sa rishi kalena avyakta ramhasa yuga dharma vyatikaram praptam bhuvi yuge yuge. The great sage Vyasdev saw anomalies in the duties of the millennium. This happens on earth in different ages due to the unseen forces of time. So Vyasadev is Trikalagya. He knows past, present, and future. So while he is meditating with his Duradrashti, Divya Drashti, he sees the upcoming degradation of the age of Kali. He sees all of us, the Kali Yugites, hmm? and doing rap and attending music carnivals, hmm, and celebrating New Year in perverted ways. People uh, flocking to cinema halls and beer bars and nightclubs and doing all kinds of sinful activities, eating obnoxious things, right? Doing so much violence. So he could see all of this. He has this Rikalagya vision. So he in his meditation, he's not just meditating on God, he's meditating on his service to God. Many times people say meditation means ध्यान लगाओ, एक बिंदु पे ध्यान लगाओ. वो बिंदु क्या है कुछ पता नहीं. बस ध्यान लगाओ. People are just ethereal, and half the time they're sleeping. What they're meditating on, they don't know. But meditation is not something abstract. Meditation is not for people. Meditation means मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I am doing nothing for nothing, with nothing. So meditation is not nothingness. Meditation is um, a, a, an active service to God. It's not a passive hibernation. Meditation is an active union with God, where you are meditating on the Lord's Naam, Roop, Guna, Leela, which is dynamic. Lord's holy name, it gives so many realizations, Roop, Guna, Leela, and then you meditate on the, not just on the Lord, but also the service which you can do to the Lord. Hmm? So service is also meditation. And in that way, meditation is not just restricted to your 2 hours. Your entire day can be a meditation of how I can please Krishna. Hmm? So Vyasdev was meditating, how should I write? And then when you think about how should I write, you need to think about my audience. What is the need, interest, and concern of my audience? So what is my audience doing? So he's, you know, with with his Trikalagya vision, he's seeing the phones buzzing. He's seeing all of us so distracted, so entangled into sinful activities. So that is part of meditation, meditating on the service that you have to do. So Bhagavatam breaks many stereotypes which people have. People think, most of the people, most of the spiritualists, they also think that is sage is someone who is confined to the cave. मतलब अपनी गुफा में बैठा है, उसको दुनिया से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. No, Bhagavatam tells us that sage is someone who goes places. Actually, sages are meant to reach out to people. Srila Prabhupada, he was asked by a reporter, Swamiji, does it really behoove you? You are flying in jet planes, riding in big cars. So Prabhupada said, I can ride in bullock cart also. No problem. But the problem is that your civilization is going at jet speed to hell with all the sinful activities. I need to catch up with you guys to stop you from going to hell. Right? So people think that sages are meant to be confined to caves, just be in their caves. वहीं पे बैठ के ध्यान समाधि, दुनिया से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. No, sages are meant to go places and create a revolution in the misdirected lives of the sinful civilization. Right? People think that sages are meant to be oblivious to the world, very pure. दुनिया से नहीं कुछ पता क्या चल रहा है कुछ, they don't want to be troubled or entangled. No, sages, they don't get entangled, but they keep in touch, because a doctor, he doesn't go and contract diseases, but he keeps in touch with the patients. What are the current diseases? Because he needs to cure. He doesn't need to become diseased, but he needs to know the disease. Right? So a sage is not someone who goes and contracts the material disease, but he knows what is the disease. So sages are meant to know the trends and the tradition both. Not that, okay, I know only the trends. First you know the tradition. Then also keep in touch what are the trends, so that you can administer the tradition in a very proper way, palatable way. So then people think that sages are simply meant to meditate and be in present. Yes, sages are meant to be in the present, but they are also meant to be visionaries, to think about the future. That's what Vyasdev is doing. Sages are meant to be naive and simple. No, sages are strategic thinkers. Vyasdev sitting there, he is not just a simple person. Oh, कितना सिंफुल एक्टिविटीज करेंगे कलयुग के लोग, क्या कर सकते हैं, चलो कोई बात नहीं, मैं तो अपना जप करता हूँ. No, he is strategically thinking that how should I write and what should I write in such a way that Tanay Parth, Kiona, and Gopinath and all of you, Sujata, everyone gets attracted. to the path of bhakti, the path of spirituality. We owe it to him. If he had just, in his meditation seen all the nonsense that we all people are doing, and say, "Marne do inko. Let me be pure. Let me just chant and be happy." No, he thought about all of us, and he compiled and wrote it down for our welfare, right? And people think that sages, they don't do any work. No, sages are the most hardworking, creative people. Hmm? They are not just confined to abstract, ethereal thoughts. They do ground level work. So these are things which, unfortunately, in modern times, with the Advait Mayavad concepts, people just have an expectation or an assumption that sages are good for nothing. They don't do anything practical. But no, sages. One sage in Vrindavan, he was telling me that grahasthas, they have a home to take care of. They have a family to take care of. He said sages also have a home. Sages also have a family. He said, I am in Vrindavan, and Vrindavan is my home, and Rajvasis are my family, and I have a responsibility towards the dham. He said, I need to protect the dham. I need to clean the dham. I need to decorate the dham. This is my home. This is my home, right? So, so therefore, there are so many temples which Srila Prabhupada built. If he was just a sage, not doing any work, just sitting in Vrindavan, we would all not have been benefited. We would just have been in the clutches of sinful life, isn't it? So all of these stereotypes of sage is someone who is confined to the cave, who is oblivious of the world, who is just meditating and be in the present, not is very simple and not doing any work. All of these are changed when we see the paradigm of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasdev sitting there, he is meditating not just on God, he is meditating on service to God, which is service to his children, all of us. How to connect all of us to Krishna, right? So he is strategically thinking and as a visionary, scheming how to write in a way that we all can get connected. So thank you all for your patient audience, and any questions, reflections, comments, happy to hear.
You said like Vyasadev, he was such a visionary. He could see the past, present, future. So he wrote the Bhagavatam to rescue us. But then this is like 18,000 verses, and he can see Kali Yuga people can barely read 18 verses, 18 verses. So why like that?
Because if you would have given us 18 verses, we would not have even read half of it. He has given 18,000, so we are reading 18 at least. So definitely memory has reduced, but let us not take it too far. We definitely can process, and not everyone, but you have people like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, Radhe Shyam Prabhu, Gaurang Prabhu, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who can, at least for them, he has kept, and for us, we can manage whatever we can. Yeah. But I think that is also a good question for us to, if Vyasdev has given 18,000, he probably knows our capacity better than probably we may have capacity, right? So let us give it a try. Yes. Sujata, you want to ask something? Yes, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for the session, first of all.
Thank you.
And my question is, actually, you say, आपने, I can you say ask in Hindi, right?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
ओके. तो आपने बोला कि सुखदेव गोस्वामी ऐसे थे कि जो मतलब आ, आपको एज अ सोल देखते थे, मेल फीमेल में कोई फर्क नहीं करते थे. बट स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में भी तो मेल फीमेल होते हैं ना, गोपास गोपीज, मदर फादर. तो
Yes.
फिर क्योंकि जब ये सेंटेंस में फिर मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सोल जो है इट्स नॉट मेल फीमेल. बट अगर हम स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड का देखें तो उसमें होते हैं, तो दैट हैज क्रिएटेड अ लिटिल कंफ्यूजन. और अदरवाइज ऑल्सो बहुत लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कि सोल कुछ मतलब इट्स नॉट मेल फीमेल.
Gender neutral.
बट इन स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड ऑल द लीलास, गोपास गोपीज, यशोदा मैया, ये सब हैं, तो सब मेल फीमेल हैं. तो हाउ मतलब हाउ टू कनेक्ट द डॉट्स, हाउ इज व्हाट इज द लाइक हाउ इट गेट्स कंफ्यूजिंग.
थैंक यू. आपने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा. वेरी थॉटफुल क्वेश्चन. So the answer is at two levels. At the first level, the jiva constitutionally is all prakriti. So we are all tatastha shakti. So tatastha shakti. Shakti means we are energies. Which means shakti means it's a striling. अपरेयम इतस्तु अन्यम प्रकृति विद्धि में पराम जीवभूत महाभाहो वेदम धार्यते. Aparayam, beyond this material element, there is another prakriti. Prakriti means feminine, right? So we are all prakriti, and in that sense, there is only one Purusha, which is Krishna. So constitutionally speaking, all of us are prakriti. We are all feminine. The energy, constitutionally, the energy all of us are carrying is that of prakriti. Prakriti means we are subservient to the Purusha. We are meant to be used, doted for Krishna's pleasure, for God's pleasure, serve God. Now, in this world, that constitutionally all of us are Prakriti. Now, talking about the spiritual world, while constitutionally, whether you take a Gopa or a Gopi, both are Prakriti. A Gopa is also a Prakriti, energy of Krishna. But functionally, a Gopa serves in the form of a male, and Gopi serves in the form of a female. Both are Prakriti. Constitutionally, both are Prakriti, but functionally, one acts as a Gopa, another acts as a Gopi. And probably we can use that example of electrical energy. It is neutral. In one sense, it is energy, but it can be used to produce heat, it can be used to produce cooling. Both, right? So similarly, all of us spirit souls, we are all Prakriti. In the spiritual world, functionally, someone can serve Krishna as a Gopa, someone can serve Krishna as a Gopi, but all of their existence is meant for the pleasure of Krishna, right? Their meditation is pleasure of Krishna. They are not thinking about my pleasure. Let me enjoy. Let me enjoy. They're thinking, let me serve. Let me serve. Right? Now, in this world, all of us are trying to be Purusha. All of us are trying to be Purusha, although we are Prakriti. So, a male or a female, both want to be controller and enjoyer in different forms, right? So actually, don't go by the looks. The woman also wants to control and enjoy. The man also wants to control and enjoy, right? So therefore, as a spiritualist, we should recognize that every living entity is a Prakriti, is a spirit soul, and currently the dress that we are wearing is just an manifestation of matter. It is just a dress, which is the body, and we may just take a form of a male or a female, but our perverted desire is to enjoy, to be a purusha, which is perverted. We need to redirect it to be a prakriti, to serve. Does does it help make sense?
Yes,
Sujata?
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, Shubhangi, Gopi, do you have anything?
Oh, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So see you all next week with the continuation of this episode. And next week we are going to discuss the entire gamut of the Vedic literatures. We will take you through an overview of the entire Vedic literatures, how there are different stages and gradations, and you know the bird's eye view. We'll take you through that and discuss much more. Stay tuned. Hare Krishna. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.